Fight fans all over the world, it's Daddy P with Slap Happy Gorilla. What? Hey, this Daddy P, Slap Happy Gorilla podcast. Like, hate, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time it go down. Listen. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. This fight is all but done for September. It's not, I don't think, finalized, but it has been reported that this fight is agreed upon by Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. That's good news as far as, knowing that the fight is going to happen. Now, everybody wanted to see Canelo Alvarez face David Benavidez. I did a past video saying something about, Canelo Alvarez don't want no part of David Benavidez. And that is evident. He had numerous opportunities to fight him at 68. But Canelo, hey, he rules his own destiny. So he fights who he wants to fight. Y'all know the WBC version of that 168-pound belt did belong to none other than David Benavidez at one time. 2 different times. And he lost it. Once on the scale and popping dirty for cocaine another time. So, and the last time he had to relinquish the belt, Canelo Alvarez came and scooped it up by fighting for a vacant title. And so now, David Benavidez, ever since then, he wanted an opportunity to fight for his belt back. But Canelo Alvarez never gave him the opportunity. I was on different platforms hearing people roast other people about the same thing, saying that he had an opportunity to activate his mandatory status and all of that, and he didn't do it. Man, look, Benavidez is carving out his own destiny now. He moved up to 175. I honestly don't think that he can make 168 again. And if he does, he won't be the same version of himself that just beat David Morrell. So we might not want to even see that fight. Now, all that aside, Terence Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez at this time is the biggest fight that Canelo Alvarez can make with a regular boxer. Now, as far as revenue, him and Jake Paul probably could do astronomical numbers as far as making a fight, but come on, that's not a real boxing match. But as far as a real boxing match that can be made with Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford is probably the top of the roost. Looking at the boxing landscape, that's the biggest fight to be made with Canelo Alvarez. So we're almost forced as boxing fans to say, hey, look, well, let's have it if we're going to have it. I'm a Terence Crawford fan. But I've been on record on this channel. I had a different channel before a while back, but on this channel, I've been on record saying that I didn't think Terence Crawford needed the Canelo Alvarez fight. And I'm going to say it like this, I really feel like he could fight some good fights at 154 and at least become unified, unified with one other title. Fundora, that's a decent fight. He got fights at 54 that he can unify, and they would be decent fights. But this is the thing. As a Crawford fan, he said he want Canelo. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm behind Terence Crawford 100%. And if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. But like I said, I would rather have had seen Benavidez versus Canelo, but that ship is sailed. You know what I'm saying? Benavidez doing his own thing, so let's see it. Let's see the Crawford fight. Now, a lot of people are on record saying that Terence Crawford can wash Canelo. Some people on record saying that Canelo is going to put him in the dirt. Now, this is the thing. As a Crawford fan, I'm still a realist. I still favor Canelo Alvarez to beat Terence Crawford at 168 pounds, simply because he's going up weight classes, two, to say the least. You know, some people say three, but he's going up actually now. He's had an acclamation fight at 154. He's a champion at 154. So I will say that it is two weight classes now. He'll be going up to face Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez does have the advantage, the weight advantage. Canelo has fought as high as 175. He's fought at 75 twice. You know, even though when he fought Bivol, it was just Bivol. But when he went up and faced, what's his name? The Crusher, Kovalev, he had some kind of freaky little like rehydration, or like Kovalev couldn't come in the day of the fight, certain weight and all of that. So, I mean, it still was an official 175 fight, but don't get me wrong, it wasn't like regular 175 fight. It was some stipulations. But my point is this: he fought at 75 twice, and you know, no matter what you think about it, he got punched by a real light heavyweight. You know, he felt the punches from Bivol, from the Crusher. He felt those punches. That is a different level. You know what I'm saying? So Terence Crawford is going up against a guy that is not only a naturally bigger guy, but is also a guy that has taken punches from legit 175 pounders on two different occasions. So he's not only acclimated to 168, he's acclimated to even a higher weight class. So Terence Crawford is jumping up, and you know, this is a lot that's he's going against the grain. It's a lot of obstacles to overcome. So that's why I say I still favor Canelo Alvarez to win the fight. But as a Terence Crawford fan, I'm rooting for Terence Crawford. And now, I'm not one of these guys that's going to sit here and say Terence Crawford is going to go in, walk down Canelo, and knock him out. That's not what I'm going to say. But I will say this: Terence Crawford is a very smart boxer. Terence Crawford is a very skilled boxer. His skill level is higher than the skill level of Canelo Alvarez, although Canelo Alvarez does have a high IQ and skill level as well. It's just that Terence Crawford, his skill level is on another level. He does a lot more. He has a lot more tricks in the bag. And he can fight you different ways. He have different ways that he can fight you, different ways that he can win a fight. He's not just a guy that relies on a knockout power, although he has knocked out a lot of his opponents. But he's a guy that's a quick thinker. On the fly, he's able to make adjustments. And, you know, hey, it is what it is. Now, Canelo Alvarez, like I said, he's a very skilled guy. He's the naturally bigger guy. He started naturally at a higher weight. That's how you really want to look at fighters. Like, what weight did they start at? So Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez started at different weight classes, and Canelo Alvarez started at a higher weight class. Now, Canelo Alvarez started very young fighting. So you got to take that in consideration too. So he is definitely the naturally bigger guy as far as weight. Now you say Terence Crawford might be a hair taller, a little bit, and then he also has a longer reach. I think that's still to the advantage of Crawford. But at the same time, y'all know Canelo Alvarez know how to cut distance. Canelo Alvarez knows how to get on the inside. But Terence Crawford, like I say, his skill level is different. Now, he has to box to win. And this is what well, this video is going to be actually about comparing Mayweather versus Terence Crawford when it comes to Canelo Alvarez. You hear people bring up Mayweather in the equation because they say, oh, well, Mayweather beat Canelo. This is not at all the same. If you go back, you can check BoxRec, a couple other platforms that'll tell you, give you information about when they fought. They fought in 2013. Now, he also fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero in 2013, if you remember. He fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero at 147. So, yes, you could say he jumped up from 147 to 54 to fight Canelo, and they fought at a catch weight. It was like 152. But it was still considered, they fought for a belt, the 154-pound belt. But Canelo Alvarez really is the one that brought up the 152 catch weight. He was trying to seal the deal. He really wanted that fight with Floyd. He knew that it would change his life, whether he win or lose. So he was trying to make everything happen. So he's the one, his team is the one that came up with that catch weight. Floyd say, hey, I'll take it. Hey, I was going to fight you at 54 for a limit. He mentioned that, but he said, okay, but since y'all say that, I'll take it. But this is the thing. The reason why this is so different is because check your BoxRec. In 2012, about a year earlier, Floyd Mayweather fought Miguel Cotto at 154 pounds. Listen, he fought him at the full limit. Now, you know, Floyd don't come in at those weights. He just will fight you at those weights. He came in like 151 anyway, but it was a 154-pound fight. Miguel Cotto weighed in at 154 pounds. Listen, that's why this is so different. Floyd Mayweather had fought at the full 154-pound weight limit a year earlier. Now, he did, like I say, he went back down to 47 and fought Robert Guerrero. He did do that. And then later that year, he fought Canelo. So this is a lot different than Terence Crawford going up 2 weight classes to face a guy that's been acclimated as high as light heavyweight. Because back then, Canelo Alvarez was fighting at 154 pounds. So he hadn't been acclimated to anything higher than that. But now you're talking about a guy that's acclimated to light heavyweight, like legit, taking punches from legit light heavyweights. He won one fight. He won the Kovalev fight. He lost to Bivol, but he still fought at the weight. So now for Terence Crawford to move up to 168 pounds, they're not asking for any rehydration clauses, which Terence Crawford is in the position where if he wants the fight to get made, he want to fight Canelo, he's going to have to concede to all of the details. So, hey, they're not asking for no weight clause. They're not asking for no rehydration clause. They say, I'm coming to fight you at the full 168-pound limit. Now, if Terence Crawford wins, this will put him in different conversations than Floyd Mayweather because, like I said, this is a higher feat than what Floyd Mayweather. Now, granted, Floyd Mayweather did fight a bigger guy in Canelo Alvarez. He did. That's something, yes, he did. But he fought him at a weight class that he had already acclimated to. Floyd Mayweather had already fought at 154. So this is what's so different. A lot of people bring up Floyd Mayweather when you're talking about a blueprint to beat Canelo. Okay, yeah, that's true. He did have a blueprint to beat Canelo. That blueprint, I don't think will exactly work today. Also, that blueprint was for Floyd Mayweather's skill set, which is a very unique skill set. So even you talking about Money Mayweather. You're not even talking about Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd was a different level. But by this time, this was Money Mayweather. He was a little more defensive. But if you look at that fight, Floyd stepped to Canelo. It was parts of that fight. He was walking Canelo down. He was very offensive minded in that fight. And I think because he knew that he couldn't let Canelo Alvarez get any ground to try to bully him. So he did what a smart boxer does. Now, something that Terence Crawford does have similar to Floyd Mayweather, he's a very smart boxer. He knows how to make adjustments on the fly. And also, he's going to figure out how to beat you. He's going to figure out what to do to beat you on the fly in the ring. So that's something that Floyd has as well. Has always had throughout his career, whether it was Pretty Boy Floyd, whether it was Money Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made adjustments on the fly. I mean, Zab Judah. You look at that Zab Judah fight. Yeah, Zab Judah won some rounds in the beginning. But Floyd Mayweather makes the proper adjustments. That's what was so special about him. And that's what's so special about Terence Crawford. So this will be a different type of fight. This will be a different win if Terence Crawford wins. And you talking about putting him in a conversation with some all-time greats if he makes this happen. Like I said, I favor Canelo. I'm with Terence Crawford. And hey, I think that it is a possibility that Terence Crawford can win this fight. Terence Crawford, like I say, he could beat you so many ways, man. He could fight on the inside. He could fight on the outside. Mid-range, he has no problem. He gets the angles that he needs to hit you and make it count. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's going to be the difference in the fight. Canelo Alvarez can beat you up, you know. He on Floyd, fighting Floyd. If you look at that whole fight, man, you'll see he was beating up Floyd on the arms. Like he knew that he couldn't just try to straight up land punches on Floyd Mayweather. He knew some of those punches had to be winging punches that was going for hurting Floyd, like on his shoulders, his arms, everywhere. And that's what he did, but to no avail. Floyd Mayweather's a lot too smart. He used the high guard when he wanted to. He used the shoulder roll when he wanted to. And he knows the appropriate time to do these things. That's the difference between Floyd and all these other guys that try to get in there and do the shoulder roll and then walk you down with the high guard. It's so much different when you have a tool bag like Floyd Mayweather and you are thinking, making adjustments on the fly, and you already done computed what's going on with the other fighter. You see his strengths, you see his weaknesses, and you are beating that fighter according to his strengths and his weaknesses. So you're not just using the shoulder roll to show off or to show that you can do like Floyd Mayweather. Nah, he using that shoulder roll because he sees something and he knows how to exploit your weaknesses and how to use your strengths against you. So he go high guard you when he need to, and he go shoulder roll you when he need to. And he is going to pick you apart. If he needs to walk you down, he gonna walk you down. And people call him pillar fist, but no, you cannot be pillar fisted and walk a guy down the stature of Canelo Alvarez. It's just not gonna happen. He had to have some type of pop on his punches. Now, some of y'all, I don't know how far back you go, but Floyd Mayweather, you talking about the Pretty Boy Floyd days, he was knocking guys out, man. Y'all go back and check your box rec, go back and watch the fight. YouTube got plenty of fights, old Floyd Mayweather fights that show you how Floyd was stopping guys. I mean, like really. It wasn't until he became Money Mayweather, when he fought the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, he became Money Mayweather. He was a little later on in his career, and he started. Yeah, he had brittle hands. He's had brittle hands. He's broken his hands a couple times in fights. A few different fights, he broke his hand and fought one-handed. Same thing with Tank. And he showed how his boxing prowess, beating guys with one hand. But yeah, Pretty Boy Floyd was nothing to be played with. And then Money Mayweather, as you all know, was a defensive pro that also had some offensive pop. And, his uncle, Roger Mayweather, he was also a lot more offensive minded with his approach to the game. Y'all know his daddy, Mayweather Sr., he was more defensive minded, And after the Cotto fight, he got tagged up a little bit in that Cotto fight. So he ended up going with his dad, moving forward and with some of those fights because he needed a little more encouragement for defense. But Floyd, man, all-time great guy, not to take anything from him. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to mention Floyd Mayweather and compare Terence Crawford to fighting Canelo, it's a totally different fight. It's a different time. It's actually a different era. Canelo is crossing era lines. You know what I'm saying? He was into different eras. But now this right here is something totally different. Terence Crawford is moving up from 154 pounds to 168 pounds to face a champion, not only a champion, but the best guy in the 168-pound division. And yes, I'm saying the best because David Benavidez and David Morrell has moved up to 175. So there you have it. If Terence Crawford wins this fight, this is going to be a better accomplishment than when Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo. Not to take anything from Floyd, that's a great win on his resume that is actually aging like fine wine. That, him having Canelo under his belt on his resume, aging like fine wine. But hey, y'all tell me what y'all think. Like, hate, comment, subscribe to the channel. This Daddy P with Slap Happy Gorilla Podcast. Y'all holler back at your boy. I'm out of there.